Deconverted Christians, died in the wool Christians, become atheists. Someone once said, if there's an atheist, look for the pain, look for the anger at God. Deconverted atheists have a special bone to pick with God. Because let's face it, Jesus threw them to the wolves. C.S. Lewis said he was dragged kicking and screaming into the kingdom. It was like God was going to save him whether or not C.S. Lewis wanted to or not. But Harmonic Atheist described it in the video. He says, quote, I did everything to try to not deconvert. I prayed, please, Lord, don't let me deconvert. But eventually he had to face reality that what he had been told was not true. So basically God threw him to the wolves. Jesus threw him, for some reason, to the glory of God, Jesus threw them to the wolves. Whereas, if you're a Christian, you have God chastises you to keep you in the faith, so that you may bear fruit, so that you don't get cut off as a fruitless vine branch that Jesus spoke of in John. If you're a Christian, God's word says he will chastise you. Now, no chastening at the moment seemeth joyous, but afterwards yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness, so that you may bear fruit. Because as long as you're bearing fruit, God's not going to cut you off the vine. But, alas, they cried out to God, just give me faith. I don't want signs. And what did Jesus do? Not a goddamn thing. And they fell for the faith because Jesus didn't come through for them. That's God's fault. They wanted to stay. They did not want to deconvert. So if they were Christians, they were true Christians, and don't hand me this no true Scotsman bullshit. The early church fathers believed you could be a true child of God and fall away and become a child of the devil again. And they were closer to the time of Christ than there were the reformers like John Calvin, who didn't follow Jesus, by the way. He followed the Old Testament law. Then those early church fathers, I assure you, Paul Washer, if you read old books, you see this is so. You can forfeit your salvation. You use it or lose it. Salvation is of God, is all of Jesus Christ, but if you do not allow him to have free reign in your life, he will depart from you and he will cast you out. But I just don't get why, if God promises chastisement, but if he be with chastisement, then are ye sons. But if he be without chastisement, then are ye bastards and not sons. Why did people cry out to God, I don't want to be converted. Please give me faith. Just give me faith. And why did Jesus throw them to the wolves? By his total inaction and indifference. So at least atheists have a reason, a legitimate reason, to hate God and Jesus. Because he forsook them in their time of need. You hear preachers say, you take one small step towards God, he'll take one giant leap towards you. Well, not in the case of these atheists, who were once Christians. And that is one thing that causes me to doubt if Jesus is real. Because I expect a 100% God. Not a God who acts like God to half the human race, but doesn't act like God to the other. And the one he acts like God to are the ones who become Christians to stay Christians. And the one he remains silent and hidden from are the ones who deconvert. Fuck you, God. Son of a bitch. I'm angry. I'm angry at you, God. I'm angry. Fuck you. And another thing. Aaron Ra has the reason to be angry at God. He said he had a new birth experience. I don't think he was truly saved. I think his new birth experience was superficial. He was one of those that the Word of God. He was one of those souls like the stony ground. He heard the message. Suddenly he was in euphoria, floating on cloud 9, until he thought, "How do I know this is real?" Look, if you truly get saved, you know it down by intuition, and if you don't know it like that, you will not truly saved. Like the man born in the airplane, something inside him knows not to get on the airplane for some reason. Don't make no sense, but he doesn't get on the airplane, and the airplane crashes after it takes off. That's intuition. If your Christian conversion does not make you know that Jesus is real and know that you're saved, in the same way that man knows not to get on the airplane, if your knowledge that you are saved does not go that deep, folks, you are not saved. You got a counterfeit superficial religion, and you will one day deconvert. Unless you end up truly get saved eventually. Like John Wesley, he was not saved, but he kept preaching. Another preacher told him, just keep doing what you're doing. Eventually, you'll make it. And that brings to another question. Is it because Jesus is real, or is it because they're faking it till they make it? But there's a power that Christianity has that no other religion has. So Aaron Ra and Matt Dillahunty, they're angry at God because God let them down. And Matt Dillahunty says he was a preacher. And God let him down. God let him down. God threw him to the wolves. No wonder he's an anti-theist. He has a bone to pick with God, and rightly so. I curse God every time I lose my train of thought. I had a stroke. Okay, the stroke led to me getting saved. Okay, now I'm being saved. Can I please get the stem cells so I can get my clarity back? Or God will kill me, take me to heaven, or give me my clarity back, and give me my hair transplant, and make me a good-looking guy, or kill me. Deliver me over to the devil for the destruction of my flesh, that my spirit may be saved, just as long as you save me in the end, as you saved me in the beginning. Soteriology. In the name of soteriology, the one-on-one, in the name of Paul Washer, in the name of John Piper, in the name of Tim Conway, in the name of inspired philosophy, I curse God violently. I reached out to every goddamn one of them multiple times, and none of them have reached back out to me. It's like the atheist, the Christian who was trying to reach out to God, but God remained silent, so they deconverted from God. In the same way God was silent to them, all these Christian YouTubers are being silent to me. They did not see past my anger and my veneer of cursing. They use that as an excuse. Oh, you're toxic. You never get on my show with using that language. Look, for first place, if I get on your fucking show, I'll not use foul language, you bitch. But this is my goddamn broadcast, and I talk however I goddamn want to, goddamn it. Soteriology saw a young man who had a lot of followers on YouTube, looking for answers so badly, talking to a Calvinist preacher, and the Calvinist preacher was feeding him some real bad Calvinist theology about how God does not love everybody. And soteriology felt so bad for him, soteriology one-to-one, and he said he reached out to the man to talk to the man. Because he had a large following on YouTube, you see. I don't, so none of them are going to waste their time with me. Because on YouTube, the more views you get, the more people you can present the gospel to, and it's a numbers game. It is better that one person die and go to hell and burn forever and ever than 50 people die and go to hell. It is better that 50 people get saved than just one person gets saved. They're not Jesus, and this is not Zacchaeus. It's a numbers game. And as the more views they get, the more likely they are to get super chat money. So they're doing this not necessarily for God and Jesus, but also for filthy lucre's sake. They're in it for the money, just like the rest of the world. What difference has Jesus made in their lives? They're just like the rest of the world for filthy lucre's sake. Not one goddamn one of them has reached out to me. Not one goddamn one of them. Not goddamn one of them. Not one goddamn. I'm cursing God so violently for this. I curse God in your name, inspiring philosophy. I curse God in the name of Soteriology 101. And if you truly love me, even though I'm doing this, you pray for me. At the very least, you fucking pray for me. And you reach out to me. Faith without works is dead. You see me suffering. Oh, I pray for you, but you're not gonna try to talk to me. Your faith without works is dead. It ain't gonna do me a hill of shit, you hypocrite. Read James. If any man come unto you destitute and need of food, and you say here unto him, be warmed and clothed. Basically, I'll pray for you. And you don't give him jack shit to eat or jack shit to wear. Your faith without works is dead. You're just trying to ease your conscience. Keep your conscience from hurting. As you don't want to waste your time with small numbers when the YouTube business is about big numbers. Hey, the more numbers you can reach, the more people you can preach the gospel to. And like I said, you'd rather one person die and go to hell than 50 or 500 or 5,000 people die and go to hell. Unless, of course, you have to choose between your mother dying and going to hell or 500 million getting saved. Every goddamn one of you would choose your mother to get saved and all 500 million others nameless faces people to go to hell. You'd rather all 500 million of them go to hell. People who don't mean shit to you because they're not your family. Than your mother to die and go to hell. What would Jesus do? Who the hell knows?
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. I used to reach up my small hands in Sunday service, searching for God. Open the eyes of my heart, thinking that my small hands must just need to try harder, stretch further to feel him. I would force my fingers out so far that the dry skin between them would begin to crack, but still I was singing, I want to see you. I was searching for God and clenching my eyes. I was crying while singing over and over again, I want to see you. Trying to press my heart into his hands and touch him. And all the while wondering what was wrong with my hands. I went to Christian camp for 5 summers searching for God. And not once did he leave with me, try to be with me when I packed up my bags and went home. I'd sit there singing Bible songs around the campfire, trying so hard to grab a hold, but all I held was frustration and empty spaces. But I kept trying because every summer that I went to camp, I swore that I could almost taste it, like this sweet tip of the tongue sensation. So I'd close my eyes and I'd chase it, but time after time, it faded. I prayed to a God that I never found for patience. How has every other person here managed to find this? Why am I the misfit in this situation when I'm trying so hard, I'm crying since I was 7. I've been singing, open the eyes of my heart, Lord, the top of my fingertips without any answer. Why hasn't he responded to me? Answering machine after answering machine, I'm beginning to think that maybe he doesn't give a shit. God, you are the Almighty. Hypocrite, your own book promised, seek and you shall find me, knock and the door will be open. Dear God, if you're there, then take your all-knowing list off the shelf and turn to that page that notates every time that I got lost looking for you. Every time that my hands fell numb reaching for you, can you even tell me how many tallies are next to the phrase, she stood on your doorstep shivering? Do you remember that my knuckles were bloody from knocking so long?
God damn you.
Baby, push my face, push my face. I'm a basket cake. Baby, push my face, push my face. Broke my back so you would love me, but instead you stood above, you spit me out, you kicked me down. I hate your name.